5G. We're going to be talking about 5G. This is Luke Radowski of WeAreChange.org here in Philadelphia at the Anarcho Philadelphia event, joined today by philosopher, scholar Max Egan. We've had many conversations on this YouTube channel with Max. They're always synchronistic. There's always a lot of positive response. We never really plan these things, but last time we talked about 5G, and I think it's a very important thing to talk about. If you do talk about 5G and are skeptical of it on the internet, specifically on YouTube, your videos do seem to be downgraded. The algorithm doesn't seem to be too favorable of that, as YouTube even announced a partnership with a major telephone network that they're going to be integrating 5G with, of course, their kind of new television programming packages that they have available for everyone. But in this video, we want to talk about some cities that stopped it, the cities that are going to stop it. And to me, this is a far more sophisticated conversation than just faster internet speeds. Many people think, 5G, oh, that's just the upgrade from 3G, 4G. Now we're going to have 5G. Donald Trump's talking about 6G and 7G. But it's the implications of this are far more important than just, I'm going to be able to download that movie faster. What are some of the important implications for you, and why is this such an important matter that you've been kind of researching and talking about for such a long time and in such depth?
Well, because, as you say, it's a really important thing. The thing about 5G is that it's a weapon system. It's a weapon system. It might be a communication system, but that is kind of that's a bonus of the system. It's a weapon system. And the whole thing, with 4G, 5G, okay, well, they were talking about 6G, so why worry about 5G? The G is simply generation. And if you look at what it is, 1G was just communication. 2G was when you had text and communication. 3G, you had video. 4G, we've got all the stuff we can do now. So it's gone up from communication. 5G is just the next level of that. 6G will be the applications that they tack onto the 5G. 6G isn't going to change to a new carrier wave. It's going to just be more applications for it. Like with Tom Wheeler said, if anyone tells you they know what the whole thing is yet, run the other way, because the applications for it haven't even yet been dreamed of. That's what 6G will be. But the difference is that 5G is a weapons system and it's a directed wave. Now, what we're using now with 4G, it's an ambient wave. You're just out there, there's Wi-Fi all around, you just pick up the signal, it's the way it goes. With 5G, when you get a call or you go on the internet, then the nearest tower is going to be putting a beam directly towards you. So it's a directed beam, which means they can target you. So it's a targeted weapon system. And they've been running this since 1954. They did all the tests in 1954 to know it's dangerous. They know it's bad for you. They know what it can do. They're telling you, Tom Wheeler's saying the studies haven't been done. Well, maybe they haven't done the studies, but the military did the studies in 1954 and they found out how bad it was. So that's what people are being sold this as faster downloads. And really, what do you need to download a movie, a 90-minute movie in 1 minute for? It takes you 90 minutes to watch it anyway. So what is this need for speed that we've got all the time? They're not looking at what the actual system is, which is a weapons system. Yeah. And even if you think, okay, well, this is okay, this is all paranoia, I trust the government. Okay, well, what about the next government and the government after that and the government after that? You're allowing them to put an active denial weapons system around and say this is a communication system. And all the towers and all the stuff they're doing, look what the government does. Do you really trust these guys? And look at all the applications for this. Anything you can find on electromagnetic warfare or DARPA patents, electromagnetic interference, any of that sort of stuff, that's what 5G is all about. So that's what people need to be concerned about.
There's a meme out there being like, if you allow the government to do anything to your enemies, they're going to be soon allowed to do it to you. It was specifically a picture of like a detention facility. There's a lot of issues to, of course, get into because 5G is already rolled out in some cities in the United States. There have been some kind of YouTube videos of people kind of walking up to them, and they seem to be the shortwave kind of 5G kind of towers where people need to be directly under them to get these kind of new incredible speeds that they could download movies really fast. And then there was another video I saw when they were kind of just even a little bit away, and there was a tree in the way, and then the 5G wasn't even available because of the kind of shortwave towers that are being implicated here in the United States compared to the long wave towers that are being implemented in China, and a lot of the Chinese companies are also implementing. But a lot of the 5G waves have already been kind of saved by the U.S. military for different uses. So there's a lot of things to kind of worry about. And for me, in my own personal opinion, we could debate the effect of technological advancements. You could say it's good, you could say it's bad. I just believe there should be a lot of caution, especially when you look at some of the negative ramifications that do come from all these latest technological advancements that are still being implicated, that are still occurring. I do believe there does deserve to be more tests, a little bit of waiting. I could wait before downloading that movie in just seconds. I could wait 30 seconds instead of 1 second. I'll be okay with that. And I think the implications that you talk about are real, and people are taking them seriously. Last time we talked about a city that got rid of them. You're keeping an eye on this. What can you tell us about this latest kind of citizen involvement that's happening specifically in Australia, but also other places that has citizens coming together saying, hey, we want to wait with this 5G thing?
Well, there's a lot of cities in Europe that have outlawed it in Europe. There's a lot of cities that are saying no. In Australia, what we're able to use is the criminal code of each state, what constitutes an assault in each state. You know, we're lucky in Australia, especially in the state that I'm in, anything that denies you quiet enjoyment in the comfort of your own home means you're under an assault. Like if you're there and you've got a neighbour with loud music and you can't live in quiet enjoyment in your own home, the neighbour's assaulting you, whether he's touching you or not. So these types of assault can be emotional, they can be physical, they can be electrical. So, you know, if you're not able to live in quiet enjoyment because you're in fear of a tower which is producing electromagnetic frequencies which you know are harmful, then you can no longer live in quiet enjoyment. So that telco is now assaulting you. And not only that, but the politician who wrote the legislation which allowed them to do it is put you under assault and can be directly charged with assault. And that's what we've been using in Australia, and it's been working. You know, whether you can do it in the United States is another thing. You'd have to do it state by state. But unfortunately, Trump, everybody's friend, has said, no, we're just going to roll it out and disregard all state legislation. This is a national thing. We want it to be rolled out. So that's the thing. And, you know, even with the health ramifications of 5G, there's a lot of talk about this, the health ramifications of it. I think there's a lot of fear-mongering with that. I mean, sure, it's going to be bad for your health. But when they switch it on and everyone suddenly doesn't get sick, they're just going to go, oh, you're all just conspiracy theorists. And it's not really about that. It's about the IoT, it's about the Internet of Things, it's about the mass surveillance system that comes with it, which is essentially why they need the 5G carrier wave. And you think about it, it's a perfect system. You've got what the people think is a communication system, and it is so fast that you can have billions of transactions happening at once. So you can have everybody across the country shopping digitally, all these stores that are all digital, scan your QR code, go in, pick up the stuff, it's all done automatically. So you've got the carrier wave to do that. If anyone steps out of line, you can also target them and disable them with this. And the police can come with their facial recognition glasses and go, well, there's Luke Radowski over there in that crowd of 20,000 people. We can pick him out with our glasses. And the algorithm would have already determined what your punishment is. And they can, you know, like I said, with social crediting, deny people access to services. So they squeeze you out of the system. And the problem also is that, you know, people think when the IoT and all this stuff comes in, okay, I'll have to be on my best behavior then. Well, no, they've been collecting data since the internet started. Everything you've ever done on MySpace, any of this stuff, it's all still there, folks. All the edits that you made, they're all still there. It's all still there. So they can just say, once you raise a red flag by any means, whatever, they can just pick up your phone, and your phone will have your license on it. It'll have everything on it. So the police will pull you out. They won't ask for your license or your papers. They'll ask for your phone. And that phone, they'll punch in a code, and that phone will give them your entire social profile, and they'll be able to see everything you've ever done and go, well, this is a person of interest. We need to bring you in for questioning. Yeah. And this is the way it's going, you know, and that's how they're going to just kind of brush the truth aside. And when we try to tell everyone that Luke's been arrested, YouTube won't even let us get it out to people. Mm-hmm. So this is the way it's going, folks, you know. And with this, they've kind of split the world into two camps, the truthers and the other people. But they're making it so the other people can't find us. And this is where the truth movement is falling down, saying, well, we need to leave YouTube and find other platforms and stuff and bring our audience over there. We don't need to bring our audience over there. We need to wake up all the people on YouTube to the fact of what's going on, because they're all going to drag us into this no matter how much we protest against it. That's the problem that we're facing, you know.
Yeah, to me, there's a lot of people who know, and there's also a very significant portion of people who know and are too afraid to even show or tell anyone that they know because of the bigger kind of implications that are behind all of this. And everything you mentioned is already happening. I mean, if you look at what's been happening at the U.S. border crossings, where now you have to give up your phone. Similar things have happened in Australia. A lot of states here in the United States, if you get pulled over, a police officer, looks at your phone to see if you're texting or driving. It's all done for your safety and your security. And it's already implicated by and large in China, which is the argument that Trump is making with the 5G issue. He's saying we can't be behind China. We can't be behind all these other countries. We have to be on top of the latest technological advancements. Let's bring on 6G.
Yeah.
But look what China's doing with it. Like the implications with the Chinese social credit score, it has been absolutely terrifying, especially with what I've been seeing and the fear that I've been seeing on the ground in Hong Kong. Specifically, what do you think about the kind of social credit score, and also rumblings of the Trump administration talking about implementing their own social credit score to see if people should be able to have the right to have guns or not?
Well, it's the same thing. See, that's what 6G will be. You know what I'm saying? What you're seeing in China is really the application of 6G before they've got the 5G infrastructure in place, because it's all the applications. That's what I mean. It's just the next generation of the technology. And what I've seen in Australia, the really positive thing about it is that people that are non-conspiratorial are seeing that this 5G stuff is bad, and you're seeing people in the community rallying against it and making a stand, and then just sort of starting to realise that actually they have a little bit of value. If they don't just walk between the lines when they're told, they can circumvent this. But that's what it's all about, the whole social crediting thing. That's where it's all going. That's where everything is going. And that's what we need to be concerned about, because in that world, it doesn't matter how much money you've got. It doesn't matter how much cryptocurrency you've got. And that's where the whole crypto thing, like I said in the talk that I had with Jeff yesterday, people are missing what that's all been about. People have looked at the whole crypto world as like the stock market, something they can invest into. And what it was something we could have pulled all our money out of the banks to remove that financial support from the government while we had the window to do it. But if we allow them to build the IoT over it, it's not going to matter whether it's crypto or what it is. As long as it's digital, they're happy with that. Yeah. So that's where we're going. So there's been a lot of people in Australia and a lot of people around the world that are seeing this and seeing where it's all leading, that are making a stand about it. But the problem is, with all the algorithms, and the precedents that they're setting in place, like the censorship that came from Christchurch, which I said was going to happen, and as soon as I said that, like within 2 weeks, they started purging. And now you go and search for any of this stuff on YouTube, all you get is CNN. CNN and Fox and all these mainstream news services have got a major foothold in YouTube. And now, even at the end of their clips, they're saying, "Hi, YouTubers," and like they're trying to make out they're one of the guys. It's freaking insane. Yeah. It's their tube now. It's gone. Yeah. And with that, and then with the arrest of Assange, people aren't looking at the political move that was, which was basically a breakdown of all international protection for whistleblowers. All of that sort of stuff is out the window. All international treaties regarding whistleblowers are now gone because of what they've done to Assange. And nobody really made much noise about that. So who's going to complain when Luke Radowski disappears and goes into a black hole? And people wonder what all the FEMA camps are for and all that sort of stuff. Seeing all these homeless in LA. And Trump saying, now we've got to do something about the homeless. You've got to put them into government facilities to look after them. Can you see where it's all going, folks? This is everything we've been saying for so many years. It's all coming about right now. And they need 5G to run it all, because it's all going to be digital. And it's going to be algorithms running the whole thing, because they just want to be able to sit back and run the show. So it's a pretty abysmal future we're heading into if people don't pay attention. And the truth movement, even the term the truth movement, it's a loaded term. What is the truth? Do you know what the truth is? There's a truth, but what about all these other little truths that people all argue about, when what this is really about is freedom? It's the freedom movement is what it should be, because nobody has the freedom to know what the real truth is, and everyone just argues about this little particular truth, which may be true. And what you say may be true, but there's no reason for you to fight with each other, because that's what they want you to do. And the reason that you even have these debates is because you're not free enough to know what the truth is. So let's concentrate on that. The whole resistance has been co-opted through these terms, such as the truth movement. We're not searching for the truth. We're not free enough to know what it is, and we never will until we establish freedom. So why aren't we searching for that and establishing that?
Even when we were, just doing this interview, during this interview, I'm like, oh, truther, I can't really say that. I was going to kind of rephrase it a little bit, but I'm like, they've programmed us so much that even the simple term truther, you stand for truth, is somehow like a dirty slang, because that's how they kind of program and condition people. And a lot of people rejected the kind of establishment mainstream media dialogue and their agenda. They stopped watching their channels and they went to YouTube, because YouTube was, again, for about you, individuals, and about people just being natural and without scripts and without special interest. That's what made YouTube special. That's what made YouTube popular. And you have to question yourself, what is a major multinational, international corporation doing when they're getting rid of their secret sauce that made them special, knowingly, when it hurts them? YouTube knows, and even announced changing the algorithms, manipulating it to push the mainstream media on people that they rejected before. It hurts us, but they're still going to do it. So it's just mind-boggling to have this kind of fear of just control. And another aspect of it, it's not just the algorithms that limit our kind of viewpoint, that downrank videos like this, because we critically kind of examined and looked at 5G, which of course the major special interests don't like, which of course anyone who does is going to be targeted, listed, and they're going to make sure that, you search for 5G, Max Egan, Luke Rudkowski, you're most likely not going to find this video. They're doing that for a very specific reason. But it's not just the algorithm. I think it's also another form of control, to understand that they control everything. The numbers of likes publicly, the numbers of views publicly, and they could change those as well with determining, hey, this video got 1 million views, or 2 million people are going to watch this. We're just going to say, 500,000 saw this. Even that aspect of it should be entertained, because YouTube ultimately decides what is popular and what is not. At the end of the day, they set the perception, and we need to kind of reframe, take a step back, and understand what we're seeing on YouTube. Even if it's popular, doesn't mean it's always popular. Doesn't mean that the amount of people saw it actually did see it. This is why government officials actually have been caught buying fake sock puppet accounts for their profiles. Big government agencies in the United States, even Hillary Clinton, even Barack Obama, were caught with many fake followers that they're buying to give the perception like they have reality. And I think shifting your perception, which you talk about a lot, is key in this big fight. So thank you for sharing this dialogue. Thank you for having this conversation. Anything else you want to say on this specific topic that we got into?
No, you're right about YouTube manipulating the view count and all that sort of stuff. I mean, they've done that the whole time. They've done it. So I've seen my videos drop 5,000 views in an hour. And I see my subscribers go up and down and up and down, up and down. People are always saying, "Oh, Max, I've got to resubscribe." And it does other stuff, like if they don't put a like on your video, it'll often put a down like for them. Mm-hmm. And they'll come back and check your video the next day and go, "Hey, I didn't downvote it." But there's a downvote on their behalf. So this is the stuff YouTube's doing. But even with all of this, we've got to keep using these platforms. We can't just say, if we go to independent platforms and bring our audience with them, we've got to reach the people. We've got to reach the people. So, just keep at it, folks. Keep at it. Don't ever give up. Don't think you don't have worth, and don't think that they will win, because, if the whole thing, it only works because we go along with it. It's just convincing people how to use the tech, stay with the tech. I'm not saying the internet's bad, but stop using all these apps and all this stuff. Don't get led into all this convenience, because the convenience, it's the threat of having that convenience taken away from you, which is the control grid. It's that mental, when everything's on your phone and then suddenly you get threatened to be locked out of that system, that's it. There was a guy the other day wanted to show me some stuff. He couldn't, because it's on the cloud. And he couldn't access the cloud because he was overseas, and his password, they want to know where he is. And and I'm saying, what's it doing on the cloud? Why isn't it on your hard drive in your laptop? Because what is the cloud? It's just where they can put all your stuff, so you can't get it. So pay attention, folks. Thanks for having me on, Luke.
Yeah, always great to talk to you. And just like Max has been saying, same with our channel. People are saying, hey, I was unsubscribed. I wasn't. So check out, if you're still subscribed to this channel, check out Max's channel. The link will be in the description below. And thank you for that kind of free-flowing conversation that we had here. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, share it, because definitely the algorithm won't. And because you guys do, and because of your support of independent media, we're still here. And that's why I love you guys. Stay tuned for more here on WeAreChange.org.